Hey there. I want to make a video about a new way to make a histogram that I just learned, which is using the frequency function equals frequency. And whoa, let me put a space here. So to do this method, I need number one, list of data. Number two, list of boundaries or bins. Number three, I need to do the frequency formula. And then four, I need to concatenate. Sorry, there's not a, that's like the fancy word, but it's just also really the right word. I need to concatenate my x-axis labels, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So that's a four-step process. Is it easier than a pivot table or the COUNTIF method or doing this by hand? I don't know. You be the judge. Okay, so let's take a look. I got my list of data, so check list of boundaries for bins. This says bin widths can be 10 starting from 15. I'm going to change this just so I'm not doing the same thing. I'm going to say bins start at 10 and have a bin width of 5. Okay, so I'm going to make my bins here. Bin boundaries 10, 15, 20. That's enough of a pattern to help Excel do this. Humidity is relative. Relative humidity is up to 100%. This is percentages essentially. So these are enough for the list of bin boundaries. So what I'm saying here, and this getting into step 4, the first bin is going from 10 to 15. And there may not be anything in that bin because this, I think the minimum, let's just take a look here, min of humidity is 18.7. Yeah, there won't be anything in that first bit. That's fine. And so now I need to do the frequency formula. Do it right here. And I just put it at the top, so at the same row as the first humidity and the first bin boundary. And so then I'm going to do my data, control shift down. That selects all the data. Too few arguments. Yes, I didn't mean to press enter. So I need one range. That's where the data is. The next range is the bin array. Control shift down. And now I'm ready. Whoa. Okay, so it's saying spill because there's something here I should have taken out. And now it's ready to put the data in. Great. So now I have a list of data going from 0 and then counting up. And it looks like I'm a little confused here because I feel like the first one, yes, this 15 to 20 here has one data point. That's the minimum of 18.7. I'm going to go ahead and sort this just so I can see custom sort, continue with the selection. I'm doing humidity, smallest to largest. Yes, so there should be one value in the 15 to 20 box. There are 5 values in that 20 to 25 bin. And then it gets pretty heavy from there, petering out here. So if I'm reading this right, this is 3 values in the 85 to 90 zone. This is not a frequency table because the bin labels aren't kind of set up right. But I can see the interpretation. Let me just kind of highlight to show you what I mean. So this means there is one value in the 15 to 20 range. Now, what's not clear here is the sort of implicit boundary issue of where does the number 20 go? So if I had a humidity that was exactly 20, that's sitting on the boundary, right? Because my next interpretation would be in the, sorry, no fill. Next interpretation, there are 5 values in the 20 to 25 range. So my point is, if I put 20, does it increase this one or does it increase this one? I don't know, so I'm going to change this and then I'll do Control Z, but I want to know the answer to this question. 20. Okay, so where it puts it is in this range, which means the 20, the upper bound is inclusive. Okay, so I need that for my concatenation. I'm going to move this list of instructions over here, and I'm going to build my frequency table here. Frequency table. So frequency table needs to have some kind of label here, and this is going to be my x-axis label. And then I'm going to have my frequency. And if I want to be more precise, what I'm counting, what I'm doing with the x-axis is I'm creating ranges of humidities. And so that's what I'm going to be counting the numbers of. I already know that I need like some way to say 15 to 20, and I'm going to have, all right, this is go back to 21.2, and I'm going to have one of those. And then I'm going to do 20 to 25, and I'm going to do 5 of those. But I don't want to do this by hand because, of course, there's a way to, I mean, all of this data can just be brought over directly, copy, and I need to paste special with the numbers here because I don't, I mean, I could do a cell reference and then autofill, but I just need these numbers. But now I need to do these, and I don't want to do them by hand. It's going to be annoying. And if your ranges start anywhere in the 0 to 12 zone, you're going to end up with dates, and it's going to be a big mess. So concatenation. The concat function is basically a function that takes text and it puts it together. So if I put A, comma, B, this will put this together and be AB. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a label that looks like this. It's going from 15 to 20. And so the 15 and the 20 are coming from this column. And then the other 3 symbols, the open parenthesis, the comma, and the closed square bracket, are going to be hard-coded into the formula. So this is my concat formula, concat, open parenthesis. I need the open parenthesis. Then I have a comma for the next thing, which is going to be the number 15. Then I have comma, separate, another comma, closing. Okay. Oops, I forgot the number, which is going to go here, 15 to 20. Okay. So let's just kind of break this apart so you can understand it. There's actually 5 arguments here. There's the parenthesis, then there's the number, then there's a comma, then there's the number, and then there's the closed square bracket. And this is my lower bound, this is my upper bound. This will work with autofill because as I go down, it'll shift it down and give me the new numbers, but it'll leave the parenthesis and the comma and the square bracket there. Perfect. Comma, boom, bring it down. I've got my labels, and now I'm ready to build my histogram. Insert recommended chart. That looks great. And then, of course, I need to format the data series to bring the gap width in. So there's my histogram. So to me, that feels slightly easier than the COUNTIF method where you have the complicated, you know, it's got to be bigger than this, but less than this. You know, the bin construction, the concatenation, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I do think that this is always the case with the upper bound being inclusive. So you're always going to have the parenthesis on the left and the square bracket on the right. So once you have some examples of that, you can kind of build off of that. And of course, this isn't finished. I want to get a title. I want to get my labels on, but this feels like a good alternate method to pivot tables and the COUNTIF approach. And I'll just briefly say this sorting, this is like the really old-fashioned approach. I just sort it, and then I'm like, okay, how many are in between 15 and 20? There's 1. How many are in between 20 and 25? There are, and I go down here and I see there's 5. Okay, how many are between 25 and 30? And 30 is inclusive. Yes, there's 25. So that's like a way to do it without using programming to help me. But if you got the tools, you know, might as well use it, my opinion. All right, hope that helps.